I used to love school trips. The chaos, the noise, that feeling that for one whole day, nothing mattered but the open road and your snacks. This one, no difference. At least, not yet. The highway stretched endlessly ahead, carving a narrow line through a forest that never seemed to end. Thick pine trees leaned in on both sides like they were eavesdropping. No houses, no traffic, just trees. It felt like we were the last living things on Earth. There were 16 of us, packed tight on an old yellow bus, the kind that rattled like bones when it picked up speed. We all wore matching shirts that read, Biology Field Trip 2025. Like that made it official. Like matching cotton could hold us together. Music blasted from someone's portable speaker, Billie Eilish, distorted just enough to make your ears twitch. Heads were bouncing. Anderson, he was already dancing in the aisle, pretending to host some kind of game show. A few students were half asleep, others filming themselves with their mouths full of Skittles. Zara sat beside me, sunglasses way too big for her face, flipping between TikTok and camera angles, always performing, even when no one was watching. I watched the trees. I always watched, especially when everything felt too easy, too smooth. And the trees, they know. They don't talk, they don't move, but they see. The teacher was sitting beside the driver. Then she turned, smiling, and started talking to a little girl behind her. They were both smiling. I couldn't hear what they were saying. I wasn't close enough to try. But something about the driver felt strange. I don't know why I noticed him so early. He hadn't said a single word since we got on. I couldn't even see his eyes. His cap was pulled low. But his hands, they were wrapped in thick gloves, both clamped tight around the steering wheel, like he was holding onto it for dear life. We all slept throughout the trip. We didn't know what was waiting for us at the end of the road. I saw the sign, maybe 30 minutes in. A wooden billboard on the right side of the road. Old, sun-bleached, almost forgotten. But the letters were still there, bright red, curved across the top. Something about it made my stomach turn, like it had been waiting for us. But 10 minutes later, I saw it again. Same sign, same red letters, same chipped ear. This time I sat up straighter. I whispered, "This is weird." Zara glanced lazily out the window after I told her what I saw, then shrugged. She said, "All the signs start to look the same when you've been stuck on a bus for hours." Then she went right back to scrolling, like nothing was wrong. I watched the trees again. They looked the same too. Two same, perfect rows, identical gaps. Then I saw it, a figure, standing between the trees, still, watching, like it had been there the whole time. But we kept moving. The sign came back, same cow, same smile, same 5 miles ahead. That's when the joy started to die. Anderson's jokes faded, the music got quieter, even the air on the bus changed. Then the phone started acting weird. TikTok froze, Instagram won't refresh. I looked toward the front. The teacher had her phone in her hand now. She was curious. From where I sat, I could just barely make out the screen. Something was wrong with it. Zara kept pressing at her phone until the screen went black. Then she turned to me and whispered something. But I wasn't really listening. I couldn't. Not with everything else spinning. We passed it a third time. This time, Zara saw it too. She sat all the way up, stared hard as we drove past. Same cow, same chipped ear. Neither of us said a word. for a long time after that. That's when I stood up. I don't even remember deciding to. Just the cold of the aisle under my feet, and the way the ceiling suddenly felt too low, like the air itself was shrinking. Then I said it, firm, rising urgency. Stop the bus. Just stop the bus. The students had disappeared. The clouds started to change, and something about the outside shifted. The trees, they weren't just tall anymore. They were twisting. The forest wasn't a forest anymore. It was pretending to be one. I looked at the driver. I could see his face just barely in the rear view mirror. He was still driving. Still just driving. Like nothing was wrong. I walked past the students and made my way to the emergency door. I grabbed the handle and pulled. Nothing. Tried again. Harder. Still stuck. I planted a foot on the seat and yanked with all my strength. The door didn't even flinch. Emergency doors aren't supposed to lock, but this one wouldn't move. That's when I felt their eyes. I turned and looked at the driver. The driver was still facing forward, still silent, but he was grinning. His face hadn't changed, not really. No twitch, no movement, but the grin, it looked different now. Wrong, like it didn't belong to him anymore. Everything happened so fast, like a flash, in seconds.
Anderson saw it.
The students turned and looked at him. They were frightened. His neck twisted, then his face, it melted. Black skin, white eyes, that grin. It wasn't the driver anymore. I heard Zara scream. Then she started praying to God. The lights flickered, then burst in a shower of sparks. Darkness swallowed the bus. A branch thick like a python slithered through the broken window beside Anderson. It wrapped around his arm, and then, just like that, he was gone. There was no time, just chaos. Instant, terrifying chaos. The branches, they started feeding on us, just like that. One by one, we were gone. I watched my classmates being killed, one by one. We were trapped in the bus. We tried leaving, but we couldn't leave the bus. We couldn't get out. What was meant to be a simple bus trip turned into a death trap. The memory is still fresh. Seeing these bodies, properties, lying on the ground. Who could have done this? The trees, they didn't just move, they hunted. Someone, something, was controlling them. The bus was open, but this time, it wasn't on the road. It was deep in the forest, like it had always been there. No driver, no footsteps, just silence. It was just me and Zara left. We had two choices: run into the forest and get eaten, or stay in the bus with the driver. He was feasting on human flesh. Then I turned and saw him coming. The monster was the driver. I held Zara's hand and we ran as fast as our legs could carry us. We didn't stop. We have never seen anything like this. We were terrified. Adrenaline was high. We just have to survive. The monster driver had tuned into a full venom. He kept chasing us like he wants to kill us by all means. But we had to run. We just had to, if we want to stay alive. We got tired at a point, and we stopped. That's when we realized Zara had been injured. It must have been from the bus. We hid behind a tree, watched, waited. We could hear his footsteps. It was heavy. He was preying on us, like food. After killing everyone on that bus, he wasn't still satisfied. Zara was slowly dying. She was bleeding. She looked at me and said, "I can't make it." I told her, "I'm not leaving you." I begged her to try, but she couldn't. She was slowly losing strength. She was slowly dying. I didn't know what to do. I was confused. Everything felt wrong. We said our last goodbye. Our last goodbye. The pain of losing Zara, it changed everything for me. I wish I could have saved her. And that was the last time I saw Zara alive. She was gone. All I saw was him. That thing, the driver, devouring her like she was nothing. Her scream, it still echoes. I should have stayed. I should have done something. Hopeless. But I ran. I ran like a coward. I couldn't stay. I couldn't fight. I couldn't look for help. I couldn't save her. I saw a cottage. An old woman was standing at the door, waving at me. I didn't know whether to run or walk closer. The woman took me in, gave me something to drink, said I was safe now. She told me aliens can't come near her cottage. She said she's cast spells, ones that keep them far away. She told me never to blame myself for the death of Zara. My family went to the police, worried I was missing. They later found me with the help of the police. I was the only one who survived that bus. No one will ever know what truly happened in those woods, but deep in the silence, beneath the trees and the fog, something still waits. This story